Hello, everyone, and welcome to the MTN Sports Den here on the campus of Middle Tennessee State University, where we have the final of the 2023 Conference USA Men's Tennis Tournament, and we cannot wait to bring it to you. Today, it's the second-seeded UTSA Roadrunners against the number one seed Middle Tennessee Blue Raiders. Hello, everyone. Dylan Simmons alongside Noah Maddox, and we have a fantastic matchup to bring to each and every one of you today. Noah, it's going to be a big one. Two teams that have long been on a collision course.
Yeah, I can't wait. It's going to be so exciting. This whole weekend culminates up to this one moment in time on a Sunday afternoon, and MTSU going for their fourth straight, UTSA back in it for the first time, back in the final for the first time since 2015. Cannot wait.
Yes, and as we mentioned, UTSA and Middle Tennessee, the two teams who have really stolen the show in Conference USA all year. Middle Tennessee, as you mentioned, going for their fourth consecutive championship. UTSA themselves looking at a potential championship for the first time since 2015, trying to get back into that realm. It's almost time to get things underway in Houston, Texas, as you see both teams lined up for the national anthem. And we can only imagine the emotions that are running through the minds of each of these players.
Welcome to Championship Sunday of the 2023 Conference USA Men's Tennis Championship at the George R. Brown Tennis Center, hosted by Rice University. Today's championship will feature the number one seed MTSU versus the number two seed UTSA. The doubles lineups are as follows. On court 3, Andrzej Horak and Marcel Komorowski of MTSU will be taking on Garrett Skelly and Jackson Ross of UTSA. On court 2, Stein Plump and Pavel Model of MTSU will be taking on Sebastian Rodriguez and Thomas Pinto of UTSA. On court 1, Francisco Rocha and Oscar Bronstrom Paulsen of MTSU will be taking taking on Alan Magadon and Tiago Torres of UTSA. The singles lineups are as follows. On court 6, we have Pavel Model of MTSU taking on Jackson Ross of UTSA. On court 5, we have Marcel Komrovsky of MTSU taking on Daniel Kuminovic of UTSA. On court 4, we have Andres Horak of MTSU taking on Thomas Pinho of UTSA. On court 3, we have Oscar Bronstam Paulsen of MTSU taking on Sebastian Rodriguez of UTSA. On court 2, we have Francisco Roca of MTSU taking on Alan Magadon of UTSA. And on court 1, we have Stein Slump of MTSU taking on Tiago Torres of UTSA.
So there you hear the lineups for both teams in both doubles and singles, and there was a bit of a mistake there, I believe. I believe that Stein Slump's name was said twice for number 6 and number 1. He probably meant Pavel Moda. We'll get clarification on that later on, but now you see it. It all comes down to this, in Middle Tennessee in their traditional hype circle. And the chant of blue and white reflecting throughout Houston. Noah, in your mind, what is it going to take for Middle Tennessee to claim the victory, and likewise for UTSA?
Well, for Middle Tennessee, it's a lot of for both teams, you're in the Sunday, the championship of the conference tournament. So for both teams, it's just going to be steadying the nerves. MTSU, obviously, been here the last 3 years. This is the 4th straight, as we've mentioned. So, they probably have a lot more of the experience in this kind of moment, obviously, than UTSA, their first time in a while. It's just going to be interesting to see, and you'll be able to tell early. Both teams have been out here since Friday?
Yeah, since Friday.
So it's not exactly a new experience in terms of playing on the courts, but it is definitely a new and different setting playing on Sunday.
And there you see what will be doubles court 1. And the usual tandem, double trouble of Francisco Rocha and Oscar Brostrom Polson from Middle Tennessee. And we were curious as to what UTSA would do for their doubles lineup. And there you see it. Alan Magadon and Tiago Torres for UTSA will be the partners in crime as they look to take down one of the top-ranked ITA teams in doubles across the nation. So they'll be a very tough test, but something to keep in mind is that Francisco Rocha and Oscar Brostrom Polson did lose their doubles matchup to UAB yesterday. We will see how that affects them going into this one. And UTSA, it's been a true team turnaround. A mediocre 12-12 season a year ago has led into this, 18-5. They have won 17 of their last 18 with only 1 loss in that time to Rice.
That's called going on a win streak right there. That is called catching fire.
We've been waiting all year. It's time. And the first serve will immediately find its mark. The beautiful job that time by Magadon. Make it 15-love. Serve 2. And beautiful angle by Brostrom Polson that time.
Really nice return. Was able to jump the serve. Obviously, with the second serve, it's coming in a little less heat on it.
15-all now. You see Rocha back deep. And that one will fall into the net. So not quite the angle needed on that. And sometimes it's all about the angle in which you're able to hit it with the racket that can determine how much power you get off of one of your swings. 15-30. That one into the net. And Rocha right down the middle, splitting the difference.
It was a really nice return up front. As you said, splitting the two, Magdon and Torres right there.
.30 all game. And that one gets the wrong end of the net for UTSA, makes it 40-30, and the Raiders have a chance to clinch an early doubles victory here on court number 1 in game 1. What does Magadan have in store on this serve?
Wow.
You saw the serve that time, a beautiful one right to the back corner. I don't think Magadan could have placed it any better than that, and that's going to make it deuce. And Magadan wants Rocha. Out called. Serve 2 coming up. Want to avoid a double fault if at all possible right here.
Wow.
And it deflects off of the net. That one didn't have a chance from the start, and Francisco Rocha right up against the net, able to capitalize. Middle Tennessee takes the first game over on court number 1 and sets themselves up for a great start, and that's the kind of momentum, Noah, that they're going to need working throughout the entirety of this game.
Absolutely. It was a great start for UTSA. Torres, you said was serving. Had 2 aces in the first, the first game. But MTSU, nice way to respond in that first set or that first game to come out on top. Get ahead early is always what you want.
Of course, game 1, still a lot to be left in this set and throughout the entirety of the rest of the double sets, but Middle Tennessee certainly off to a great start. Over on court number 2, UTSA's actually taken the lead 1-0, so as we see, it takes 2 of these 3 doubles courts to win to get the overall point. UTSA not going to be left in the dust that easily. This is court number 3. Andre Horak and Marcel Kamrowski for Middle Tennessee. And Garrett Skelly along with Jackson Ross for UTSA. We have a brief playside error at the moment. That will be cleared up in due time. UTSA currently serving. That one goes straight into the net.
On both courts we've seen so far, a couple serves from UTSA, a lot of sting on them, a lot of venom. It's been tough to handle for MTSU at times.
And you saw Marcel tried the misdirect that time, and he couldn't get the angle. UTSA able to capitalize, now a 30-love lead. And another serve coming up and a chance to extend that lead. This is Jackson Ross. As that first
he just
serve.
double faulted, yeah.
Yes, he did. Wow, a double fault from Jackson Ross. That's a big mistake for him and something that you simply cannot afford in a championship atmosphere. 30-15. And that time, Garrett Skelly unable to get it over the net. Tie game. And you see both players being talked to. That is head coach Sergey Avdiev. As that one will be back. Who's built this UTSA team up so much in his time here, has made them a true CUSA juggernaut.
Wow. It's huge if you can break serve here.
Would be absolutely massive if you could break serve, and a great job up front that time by Marcel Kamrowski. Was able to bat it back, and he makes it 40-30, and a chance for a break point coming up, which would be massive for Middle Tennessee. Oh,
Wow.
Marcel. The fist pump goes into the air, and for good reason. He absolutely swatted that thing away. And that is a break point for Middle Tennessee. On court number 3, they take a 2-1 lead with an opportunity to make it 3-1 as they'll be on serve next, and they head over into the changeover station with that advantage. And Noah, things continue to heat up for the Blue Raiders.
Absolutely. I mean, that's huge. If you can break serve early like that, just, it opens up a whole lot, leaves your room for error a little bit more. You get to play a little more loose. Breaking serve in that, in that situation so early is massive.
And it gives Middle Tennessee even more incentive and even more of a prerogative to play hard in this double set to potentially take more points. Over on court number 2, though, things not going quite as well. A 2-0 deficit right now for Stein, Slump, and Pavel Model, as Sebastian Rodriguez and Tomas Pinho currently have the lead.
We talked about MTSU was able to break serve on court 3. Well, over here on court 2, UTSA was able to do the same.
Serve from Moto. Oh,
Wow.
So big Stein. What a play right up against the net that time. Perfect positioning. Make it 30-all.
See Coach Jimmy getting real animated, He's so much fun to watch.
Yeah, he doesn't have the bucket hat on today.
Yeah, I noticed.
No, not a lot of sun in Houston. There was a long weather delay before that. Something else to consider in this game. And a beautiful serve by Pavel Model. Well, Jimmy Borendame has been the mastermind behind these 3 consecutive Conference USA championships for Middle Tennessee. Has built them up into a contender ever since he arrived, and has kept them as the premier program and the totem pole in Conference USA. We've talked about it so much. They were going to get everybody's best shot coming into that tournament. But thus far, they have responded. A 4-0 sweep against UAB yesterday, and trying to translate that into another win today. Serve from Pavel. Nothing but net on the first one. Chance to bring it within 1 game.
Wow.
Stein slump once again. Clobbered that one like a Tyson Fury uppercut. And he gets Middle Tennessee their first doubles point over on court number 2 to bring it to 2-1, and an opportunity to close the gap once again against Rodriguez and Pinho, and that's a huge one here, Noah.
Absolutely. I mean, the reaction time from Stein at the at the front over by the net. I mean, just 1-2 points in that in that one game, just to finally get a game on the board. That's huge.
Well, Stein is a very tough player to deal with up against the net, and he shows that once again for Middle Tennessee, able to help them secure that first point. But will they be able to sustain it? They'll be back defending a serve for their next game. We head back to court 1 now. 3-0 lead for Middle Tennessee with Francisco Rocha and Oscar Brostrom-Polson on serve. Here's Rocha. 30-love lead.
Wow.
How about it? Oscar Brostrom-Poulsen right up the middle.
Just to redirect it where no one's at that quickly, the reaction time, that is impressive to say the least.
And that kind of reaction time takes split-second accuracy, and that is exactly what Oscar Brostrom-Poulsen just delivered. 40 love, Rocha back on serve. Could not get the angle that time. And for UTSA, when it comes to defending these Middle Tennessee serves, they serve it fast and loose. They want to try to push their opponents back if at all possible and then go on the attack. For UTSA, they have to keep that in mind. The Cisco special. And he takes the pop fly, sends it right back in their face, and punches UTSA in the mouth to take a 4-0 lead against the Roadrunners.
Huge. Be able to get out a quick start, 4-0. You mentioned the UTSA serves. I mean, in the first game on this court, they had the second serve 3 times in the same game. I mean, they are letting it fly for sure.
And we were curious. A lot of Middle Tennessee fans were worried about Court 1.
So far, nothing to worry about.
Absolutely. Francisco Rocha is absolutely dialed in. A cross-court, crisscross applesauce play. And he makes it 15 love Middle Tennessee.
I mean, what a shot. I mean, that almost that was almost on the line itself. I mean, like you said, he is locked in right now.
Oscar can't quite get that one over the net. 15 all.
You see that electric serve from UTSA that we were just talking about. Can be tough to handle sometimes.
Magadon with a beautiful serve. 15 all. That one off the net, and you do hear the wind ripping in Houston right now. Something else to think of as we watch this progress forward. And you see Rocha throws up the hand sign. He's calling it out, and it looks as though it was. 30-15, Middle Tennessee lead.
It was a nice idea. He tried the little lob shot to get him behind, but it's good reaction from Magadon to get it back. Unfortunately for UTSA, just outside.
That one short. Serve 2. And he double faulted. Another crucial error on a serve by UTSA. And that's going to allow Middle Tennessee to enhance the lead to 40-15 and a chance for a potential break point here with the 5-0 lead. And you don't want a second straight double fault. Big mistake by Rocha that time. A little bit too much sauce.
Just trying to end it in that one shot. Can't blame him. He's been locked in on everything else he's done so far.
Absolutely has been. A little bit too much power. Middle Tennessee still with a 40-30 lead. And this time, Oscar Brostrom-Poulsen.
It's a good serve.
Fantastic serve. And now, another deuce situation. And Raiders would have a chance to clinch in the next round if they could get this break point. It's up to Francisco, but what does Magadon have in store?
Ooh, man, that was almost able to drop it in there.
He very much was. UTSA will head to the changeover station. They've made it 4-1 in a crucial time to do it, but Middle Tennessee will be right back on serve with a chance to take a 5-1 lead momentarily. So Middle Tennessee unable to quite clinch that point, did end up blowing the 40-15 lead, but they're still very much in a comfortable position. And as we saw, Francisco Rocha and Oscar Brostrom-Polson working in tandem, I think, is good, about as good as we've seen them thus far as a doubles team this year.
Yeah, absolutely. And you can't really blame the duo there, the doubles pairing there, because the UTSA serves have been electric when they've been able to land. And they haven't had to go to a second serve, that is.
And that one is going to go out of play. And you hear the reaction. The UTSA fans have come in force here to the George R. Brown Tennis Center in Houston. And got to think that gives them a bit of a home court advantage as well, since San Antonio and Houston aren't separated by much.
Hey, you heard some commotion there. Must have been something going on in one of the other courts, because it's a good serve.
That it was, as it falls into the net. That'll make it 40-15. Stein and Pavel with a chance to bring it back within one. And while we have a break in the action, we're going to send it to our first report of the day, to Mr. Jace Vincent, the man who's always got those great reports. Jace, what do you have for us?
Yeah, over on court 3, UTSA was down a break, down 3-2, came back, got a break, evened it up at 3-3. Andre is on the serve over there right now, so with that action over there currently right now, we will see how they are able to bounce back and be able to possibly retain that point and come back.
All right, thank you, Jace. So Middle Tennessee and UTSA in a dogfight over on court number 3. And as you were speaking, an absolute swat of the ball by the Raiders to bring it back to within 2-3. Fantastic job, and they continue to play so well right up against the net.
Yeah, I had UTSA dancing there for a second.
Certainly did. Had them off kilter, out of position, and that's the kind of momentum that Middle Tennessee certainly needs in this one here in Houston today. Stein, Slump, and Pavamoto will take a rest over at the changeover station. And a big win for them there. And, of course, Middle Tennessee and UTSA, whoever wins this one is certainly going to earn it. They're going to have to do it the hard way, because both teams have definitely come to play early on in this one.
Absolutely, yeah. You can see on all the courts, this one's tied at 4-3 after the scoreboard updates. But, yeah, it's been a lot of good tennis so far. Pretty close on all the courts except court 1. The MTSU's duo has been locked in from the beginning, that's for sure.
And as you see, Skelly and Ross with a 4-3 lead now in the changeover station. Middle Tennessee, though, as Jace mentioned, still very much hanging with them. They will be on serve when play resumes, and it looks like both teams are just about ready to hit the court once again.
Yeah, it kind of feels like this is going to be the deciding court. Court 1, of course, with Rocha and Rostrom-Paulson. It looks like they're going to pull away at this point, at least from the score right now. This one is definitely the closest one, and easily the one that seems like it's most up in the air.
Well, Jackson Ross and Garrett Skelly are 4-5 overall as a doubles team this year, and their match yesterday against Florida Atlantic did go unfinished. First serve here from Andre Horak is wide. Serve 2. And that one is out of play. Great recognition by Andre Horak.
Absolutely. The instinct's telling you to swing at that one, and he held back at the last second. Saw that it was going out.
15-love lead now. And for Middle Tennessee, these fantastic freshmen have truly emerged this year. Recruited heavily by Jimmy Borendame going into last year, and they have translated in a huge way and have developed so much throughout this season. But they got fooled that time. A beautiful return by Skelly and Ross. Able to bring it back to 15 all, and you see that is Coach Callie from Middle Tennessee currently having a discussion with his players. An assistant coach for the Raiders and a heavy part of this team for them as well. Much like Coach Jimmy, he provides a lot of great advice for them. First serve is wide. Still 15 all.
Good serve.
Fantastic serve, and it quickly goes out of play as UTSA is simply unable to respond. A 30-15 lead now for Marcel Kamrowski and Andre Horak. Middle Tennessee with an opportunity to take a 40-15 lead here.
What a serve.
Oh,
Wow.
What a placement by Andre Horak. Give me some more of that, Andre. He makes it 40-15, and Middle Tennessee is going to have a chance to tie it up with another brilliant serve like that. And you see the kick serve almost looks like a curveball in baseball, as that one is going to go out of play. And a brilliant serve again by Andre Horak. And
Great
that is going to net Middle Tennessee a 4-4 tie in this match.
Yeah, great response. Taking care of business on your serve. Absolutely massive to come back and able to tie this game up at 4. Wow.
Are you kidding me? Andre Horak is absolutely fired up right now. Make it 15 love.
I mean, he read that. I mean, the whole way. That was pure instincts. He's running in. I mean, came flying out of nowhere. UTSA had no idea what to even do. Yeah, no chance.
Yeah, nothing either Skelly or Ross could do that time. Simply left in quicksand, and they could only watch as the ball went by. Raiders take a 15-love lead. The next serve coming. Into the net. This time it's Marcel Kamrowski.
If you're able to get UTSA to those kick serves, those second serves, that's when you're able to really, turn on the ball and put it back in play, as you saw there. What a serve.
What a fantastic serve that was.
Great placement, yeah.
Middle Tennessee continues to hold the 30-15 advantage at the moment, but this one is looking to be a very interesting matchup over on court number 3. We're going to transition over now to court number 1.
Match point.
And a bit of a mistake that time by Oscar Brostrom-Polson. Had a chance to lock it up. Beautiful transition there on the courts, by the way, by our director, TJ Myers. But as you mentioned, Noah, a chance for Middle Tennessee to clinch it right here on court number 1 and get them one step closer to that all-important doubles point. It's up to Rocha. Serve 1, 40-15. And again, Oscar fouls up the spike attempt. And he gives UTSA another free set of points, 40-30. Match point number 3 coming up. And again, Oscar Brostrom-Polson, I like the idea, Noah, but he just hasn't been able to execute it correctly.
Yeah, fine idea. Look for a good serve here from Rocha.
The Cisco special once again.
What a shot. Wow.
Oh, Tiago Torres, the cross-court shot to tie it up for deuce. Fantastic job by UTSA defensively.
Yeah. Match point number 4. I mean, UTSA down 40 love and 5-2 and fighting back.
And that shows the fight that these road runners have. They are not going to let this one get away that easily.
Haven't been able to break serve all day until it's their best opportunity of the match for sure.
And UTSA will be on serve if it gets to that point. Rocha, serve one. This time they finish the job and clinch court one on the beautiful return by Oscar Brostrom-Poulsen. And Middle Tennessee nets the early 1-0 advantage in the doubles matches.
And you could tell Rocha fired up about that one. Finally was able to land the serve. And as we head back to court three, Rocha and Brostrom-Poulsen definitely letting their teammates know how the result of that first game went. As you see MTSU Horak-Kamrowski pairing taking a huge lead here. Broke serve.
Yes, they did. They are on serve right now as that one's going to go out of play. The lead extends to 30-love.
Serving for the match here, big time after they broke serve.
2 more shots required for the doubles point for Middle Tennessee.
What a return.
And oh
Wow.
my goodness, faked out Andre Horak. He had the positioning and he just couldn't get the backhand to work correctly, and he kind of got angled in an awkward spot. And I think that's what cost him there, Noah.
Yeah, and just a huge return. I mean, that was an impressive shot.
Serve for Kamrowski. And he
And that's-
dropped
wow.
that one in there excellently.
Perfect serve.
The teardrop, you could not ask for a better serve than what Marcel Kamrowski just delivered. And Middle Tennessee needs just one more of those to clinch the first point of this game. And
Wow.
they do it. Marcel Kamrowski, the beautiful serve once again. More sauce on that serve than a McDonald's ketchup dispenser. And the Raiders take the doubles point early. 6-4 advantage. Fantastic job by these Raiders in Noah. They played with confidence, precision, and a lot of tenacity in those doubles rounds.
Absolutely, and this was the court that we mentioned that might be the one that would go up in a toss up in the air, and I mean the last 2 points to win that for MTSU. I mean that was huge. Breaking serve one and then able to clinch the match. Massive.
Absolutely massive for Middle Tennessee, and they played with a lot of the incredible doubles tenacity and doubles precision that we have seen all year. And now it's going to be time for the singles matchups momentarily. Stay tuned right here on MTN Sports and CUSA.TV. Do not go anywhere. More Conference USA Men's Tennis Championship game action coming your way.
Finish first or last.
Whether you win or lose.
The stigma around these issues causes those around us to suffer in silence.
Mental health is nothing to be ashamed of.
You are not alone.
You are not alone. As a student athlete,
As a teammate,
As a friend.
We pledge to continue the conversation.
because it matters.
Because you matter.
Stand up to the stigma.
Stand up.
Stand up.
continue the conversation.
You are not alone.
I have a voice.
You have a voice.
We have a voice.
Our voices can be heard
Outside of sports.
As student athletes, we have a platform.
Now more than ever.
It's important that we listen, learn, and lead, and raise our voices for change.
We can all do more.
Now is the time
To make a difference.
This is our chance.
This is our chance to make a better tomorrow.
Together,
we will continue the conversation.
we have a voice.
On June 23, 1972, Title IX was signed into law, and it reads, "No person in the United States shall, on the basis of sex, be excluded from participation in, be denied the benefits of, or be subjected to discrimination under any education program or activity, receiving federal financial assistance." Happy 50th anniversary, Title IX. Thank you for giving little girls like me and big kids like Conference USA student athletes the opportunity to dream big.
Welcome back here to MTN Sports and CUSA.TV, the Conference USA Men's Tennis Tournament Championship game here in 2023. Dylan Simmons alongside Noah Maddox, and we cannot wait to bring you singles action between the top seed Middle Tennessee Blue Raiders and the number 2 seed UTSA Roadrunners in Houston, Texas. And it's going to be very interesting to see Middle Tennessee coming off the 1-0 doubles lead. How will that translate into the singles matches, Noah?
Yeah, it's huge. I mean, both teams for MTSU that won, those 4 players, big confidence boost going into their singles games. But for everyone else, you just expect them to, if you lost the game, just to shrug it off and move on because you're in a different mindset and frame of mind as you're competing, all by yourself here.
We are on court number 1 to start things out. Stein Slump for Middle Tennessee, and that is a play side error, by the way. This match has just started. Stein Slump tries to fit that one in there, but he just couldn't get the angle.
You hear Torres fired up.
Yeah, Tiago Torres is
trying to
very excited.
Get the rest of his team up and rolling, it sounds like, from that.
Well, excitement can sometimes be contagious, and perhaps that's what he's going for. And he gets another beautiful serve in there, and Stein Slump is going to head to the changeover station with a 1-0 deficit. Tiago Torres red hot serving early.
We saw on court 1 was giving Torres serving in that, we first started, was giving the Rocha Brostrom-Polson pair troubles with his serve, and you can tell it's not going to be easy for Stein Slump in this game, in this individual singles match to return the serve of Torres.
Well, something interesting to note is that this is not the first time that these two teams have met in the Conference USA Championship. In fact, actually, this happened last year in the first round, not, of course, in the championship matchup, but these two teams did play. Last year, it was Francisco Rocha who played Tiago Torres, and he lost in straight sets, 6-3, and then got bageled 6-0. So
That's
he has definitely been a challenge for Middle Tennessee. As we see that one go over the out-of-bounds line, and that should make it 15-love. That one just catches the net. And again, you see the enthusiasm from Tiago Torres. Very Ben Shelton-esque in the way that he kind of has the enthusiasm when he plays.
I think he's kind of trying to provide the energy for the rest of his team and not just for himself. I think he can kind of feel that after the way the doubles went.
15-all. And another bad bounce right off the net. That is the second consecutive time that a bad bounce has stopped a Stein Slump return. 30-15, Tiago Torres. The serve now from the left side. That one too far. And the third straight return goes into the net for Stein Slump. Just doesn't have the power on the returns early, and Tiago Torres is taking full advantage of that.
Yeah, he is locked in today. Saw the doubles as we mentioned, and then he has definitely carried over his play from the doubles. Was able to shrug off the result for this one.
This time, Slump is able to watch it go out of play, and a very nice serve, as you mentioned.
Just 8 Torres up.
So Slump will head back over to the ad side. 30-40. Too far. And it sneaks past Stein Slump, but it goes out of play, and he gets the point. A close call there. He went up to the net to try to play it close, and it almost cost him, but it looks as though he's going to be able to get it to the next paradigm for Middle Tennessee. It is now deuce. And that was a close one, Noah.
Yeah, I couldn't tell if that, if that went out or not. I mean, I had to wait for the scoreboard to update before I said anything, because that was a Stein Slump hoping that that was going to land out.
Well, the chair ump agrees with Stein Slump, and it's deuce. This one too far. Slump from the ad side. And for the fourth time in this second game, Stein Slump sends it into the net, and Middle Tennessee will go down 2-0 on court number 1 in set 1.
Huge for Torres to break serve there against Stein Slump.
And now Stein going back to the changeover station for a quick moment to perhaps get a drink. And actually, no, it's a change of choice when it comes to the racket. So a new weapon of choice now for Stein Slump to attack with. And it is always interesting, Noah, to see a player get a new racket, especially early on in the game. Makes you wonder a little bit about what the strategy is and maybe also about the headspace.
Absolutely, and you just see Torres here.
As we see that one go out of play. And another aspect of the changing of the racket could be as well, remember the fact that different rackets have different tensions and different temperatures. And that is likely what Stein Slump is considering. And it's a little colder in Houston right now. It's in the mid-60s, so the ball is not bouncing as high for the Raiders right now and the Roadrunners. So that is likely what the idea is behind Stein Slump changing rackets. 15 love, Tiago Torres. And Torres is going to call that one out of play. And that's going to bring it to 30 love UTSA. And this time, Stein gets what he's looking for. That one goes into the net.
You could see on those first two returns, the ball was sailing a little on him. He was having to get it up because in that first two games, it was staying a little low on him, and that's why he ended up changing rackets. Just couldn't get the ball over the net comfortably in the same way, and now here, just quickly adjusting. And hopefully for Stein Slump's sake, he can keep it going, find a little bit of a groove here. You see that ball's flying off the racket. It is going a little higher trajectory than we've seen for the most part of the day so far.
Yeah, this time too much by Stein Slump. Makes it 40-15 Tiago Torres.
That's always the interesting part about changing mid-game, too.
And Stein Slump makes another crucial error. 3-0 deficit now on Tiago Torres. And Stein Slump is going to head to the changeover station with disappointment as the main emotion. And a bit of an uncharacteristic start for Stein Slump on court number 1 thus far. We're going to head over to court number 6 now to check up with the latest in that singles matchup.
You can tell from Torres real quick. I mean, he's a lefty too, so there may be a little bit of an adjustment from Slump's perspective. Sometimes the little things like that can impact how you're looking and playing. As we go to court 6, it looks like.
Pavel Modal taking on Garrett Skelly for UTSA. Deuce.
Wow.
And what
Huge.
a play. That is going to put Pavel Model up a break, make it 2-0. Garrett Skelly tried the forehand, he tried the backhand, and Pavel Model said, I don't care what you do. I'm putting it past you to make it 2-0.
Yeah, he never got it fully past him, but Skelly was never able to fully, get his racket on completely around the ball and return it. And that's all. Honestly, I mean, that's all you need to do. And when you're trying to break serve like that, just any way possible.
So now Pavel Model with a chance to strike early in the first set is now up a break, and he'll be on serve. A chance to make it 3-0 just like that. Does Skelly have any response? Too far out. As you mentioned, Noah, fantastic serve by Pavel Model. Skelly comes into this matchup with a 6-3 record overall. This one wide.
Tried a little change up there with the first serve.
Serve 2. And Pavel Model will watch that one sail into the net. He is having his way with Garrett Skelly right now. Another fantastic job on the returns. Both teams come in with very similar resumes. They both have 4 wins against ITA-ranked teams this season. UTSA with wins against Texas A&M, VCU, Old Dominion, and Wichita State. As we get ready to see Pavel Model with the next serve. Middle Tennessee also with 4. Here comes the windmill. Bang! Pavel Model makes it 40-0 now as Garrett Skelly pushes it too far to the outside. One guy who's got all the inside scoops, it's Jace Vincent. Jace, what do you have for us with our latest report?
Yes, so over on court 5, we had Marcel Kamrowski. He was able to break, bringing him back. He was down a break, down 2-0, and he comes back to make it 2-1 now. He still trails, but he'll be on his serve down 2-1. Along with over on court 4, Andre Horak of MTSU was able to put himself up 2-1, defending his serve. It is now UTSA serve over there on court 4 as well.
All right, thank you, Jace. Awesome report as always. And as you were speaking, Pavel Model adds to Middle Tennessee's benefits as he takes a 3-0 lead on Garrett Skelly. They will head to the changeover station with Pavel Model firmly in control of the first set. And Pavel Model has been incredible this year, 16-5 record overall in singles. He's a tough guy to beat as we get ready to head over to court number 3 with Oscar Brostrom-Poulsen as well as Sebastian Rodriguez. And right now, Oscar Brostrom-Poulsen currently down a break.
This one I'm looking forward to keep my eye on. This one I think could easily see it going 3 sets.
Apologize for that brief play-side error. The next serve from Rodriguez. And that ball will roll onto the court. You picked a fine time to leave me loose ball. Serve 2. And that one goes into the net. That'll allow Oscar Brostrom-Poulsen to extend the lead to 40-15.
Rodriguez a little loose there on his return. And Brostrom-Poulsen, if he can break here, that would be big just to get back.
It would be absolutely massive as he's already down a break. would be a huge opportunity to, as cliche as it may sound, even the playing field. And it just sneaks out of play, and that one looked very close. Let's see here, and yes, indeed, it is just out of play for Oscar Brostrom-Poulsen. It was a close call, just quite wasn't able to get the angle on it. Break point number 2 from the ad side.
Wow.
Oh, you talk about a crazy bounce right off the top of the net. And Oscar Brostrom-Poulsen, a fantastic job. Sometimes you'd rather be lucky than good, and that's exactly what happened. That's a sorry, not sorry.
Absolutely. Those are the ones that, man, I mean, when you get them, you love them. When you don't, that is nothing much more frustrating than that when it happens against you.
Yeah, for Sebastian Rodriguez, that had to sting worse than a beehive full of needles. 2-2.
What a shot.
Oh,
wow.
You talk about a shot. What a corner shot by Oscar Brostrom-Poulsen. 15 love.
I mean, that is just picking your spot and putting it there. That is open the hips a little bit. Perfect power, perfect placement.
As you mentioned, perfect placement by Oscar Brostrom-Poulsen. Oscar Brostrom-Poulsen, much like Francisco Rocha, lost in straight sets last year against UTSA. As that one goes out.
Not something you expect to hear a lot, losing in straight sets.
Yeah, it's not something that you would see very often from Middle Tennessee, but this UTSA team really pushed them to their limit last year and almost cost them a chance at the Conference USA Championship. In a way, both teams looking for a little bit of payback. And Oscar Brostrom-Poulsen, are you kidding me right now, sir? A 40-love advantage as he absolutely smacks that one. Whew.
He looks like he's starting to heat up now. I mean, could have easily been another one right there.
Serve 2. As that one is going to go way out of play, and Oscar Brostrom-Poulsen is going to take a 3-2 lead, and all of a sudden things have been completely turned on their head on court number 3. Fantastic job and fantastic returns by Oscar Brostrom-Poulsen, and you can't overlook the serving skills as well. And they'll both rehydrate at the changeover station as we get ready to take you to our next look at singles action. We'll have that for you in just a moment. But Oscar Brostrom-Poulsen, fantastic job once again. For Sebastian Rodriguez, time to retool.
Yeah, great response from Brostrom-Poulsen there, going down 2-1 and able to break serve and then start dominating with his own serve.
On to court number 2 now.
Rocha looking to break serve as well.
Rocha up 2-1. Ooh, and he whiffs it. Wow, that is a shot that you do not normally see Francisco Rocha miss.
That's something you'd see me do instead of him.
Yeah, he didn't get all of that one, to say the least, and that'll make it a deuce game now.
All I can say is I've been there. It just feels like your racket's got a hole in it.
For all of us who start off with tennis, those moments happen more than we'd care to admit, and even the professionals sometimes have it go awry. And Rocha this time, another mistake. Can't get it over the net, and he cost himself a chance at a break point. Instead, it's going to be 2-2, but Rocha will be back on serve.
It's just 2 unforced errors for Rocha, unfortunately for him. strong doubles performance.
There you see the total points won by both players, 11 apiece. About as evenly matched as you could ask for.
Yeah, he's just rolling there. You'd expect him to break serve, and then just two unfortunate errors. Now he's back on serve.
Serve one. From the deuce side. And that one is close. It looks like it didn't sneak in.
That looked like it hit the line to me.
Boy, it really did. That is not what the chair ump ruled, so no go from the ITA official. Serve two. Just couldn't scoop it up from the ground.
You can see Rocha, he's still upset at that serve, and I would be too. I thought it hit the line from here.
Really looked like it was in, as you mentioned. And we're going to actually take a replay of this to see what we saw.
That body language from Rocha, it's just you'd expect to, and he's almost like it's a, how did you miss this?
Keep an eye on where it lands.
Yeah, that is square on the white.
Boy.
I'm not really sure what the chair ump was looking at there.
Yeah, a very bizarre turn of events there as Francisco Rocha thought he had the serve, and from what we saw in the replay,
perfect serve to me.
Looked like it in a NFL referee moment for the chair ump and the ITA official. 15-all matchup.
Rocha's good enough to where it shouldn't affect him, but that is frustrating when it's that obvious.
As that one goes into the net. And a reminder, if one is needed, that a win here will give either team an automatic bid to the NCAA tournament. That spot has been occupied by Middle Tennessee since 2019, but UTSA wants to join the party. And both these teams ranked fairly high in the ITA rankings. Middle Tennessee number 27, UTSA number 41. Both very good teams. They've been the class of the conference all year. And a fantastic clash today. And finally, it goes out of play on the side of Magadon. Rocha's going to make it 30-15.
That's a great rally from both men there. That was strong from both. And then Rocha Magadon just giving in there at the end.
Coach Callie coming to give congratulations to Francisco Rocha.
Well, just to give him an extra second to breathe a little after that one.
That he did as he heads back over to the ad side. 30-15 lead.
Serve.
Wow, that serve certainly, as you mentioned, set things up. Perfect placement.
Just ate Magadon's hands up. He couldn't get his hands around quick enough, and it's like in baseball when you got a fastball in on the hands and the hitter can't get the bat around in time. That is exactly what you see with some of these serves.
Chance for Rocha to take the lead. And he tries to stretch out like Plastic Man on the return. He just couldn't get it over the net.
It's a good idea, charging the net there, just to see if Magadon makes a mistake or hits it right to him, and then he can, quickly place the ball on the other side, but just could not get it back over the net.
40-30 game. Rocha with yet another chance to make it 3-2. The windmill. And it just sneaks out for Francisco Rocha. A fantastic rally between those two, but unfortunately only one could come out on top, and that time it was Alan Magadon.
It was a good idea. I mean, he tried to place it over there, just missed, unfortunately, for Rocha.
And Rocha, who once had a 40-15 lead in this particular game, now an opportunity for Magadon to potentially steal a break point. It's deuce time. What does Francisco have in mind? What can Magadon do to return? And Francisco Rocha 3 straight times is denied the lead, and instead it's Alan Magadon who snookers away the 3-2 lead on the break point, and a big one at that. Let's take a look in the replay,
man.
and a reminder of the serve that started it all.
And that was in this game, yeah.
Certainly was, and looked as though that was in, but that's not what the chair ump called, and Francisco Rocha was denied. And it's plays like that that can turn the entire course of a game. But for Francisco, I'm sure he would also have to say that he feels like he didn't get the job done either.
Yeah, and you could see Magadon, his game plan in that particular game when Rocha was serving is we're just going to rally as long as we can, and you know, let's see if Rocha makes a mistake. And unfortunately for Rocha, he did. It'd just be interesting to see how he adjusts, you know, into the next as the match progresses against Magadon. Try and deal with the rallies, because we did see Magadon, you know, make a mistake himself on one of those rallies that he started, as it looks like Pavel Model is cruising right now.
Certainly is, up 30-15, 5-0. Oh, Pavel Model, what a drop-in that was. Are you kidding me? Pavel Model, a beautiful drop-in of the ball. And I don't think you could ask for a better, almost like a bloop shot in baseball than that, 40-15 lead.
Set point, break and serve. Let's see, this would be pretty big. Get this set over with.
And that one will go way up in the air, out of play, and Garrett Skelly, a fantastic serve of his own to keep himself alive. He brings it to 40-30. And Garrett Skelly, the man who's been the primary number 5 this year, usually plays in that position, is 4-2. This is only his second number 6 game of the year. He is 1-0 in those affairs. So a very unique placement of that, but he's still in it. As that one will go out of play, misses the first serve. Number 2. Ooh, and another mistake. Modal just can't sneak it in on that back line. Set point number 3 coming up. And much like Francisco Rocha, a game that Pavel Modal seemingly had in hand, starting to get away from him. Deuce situation. What does Skelly have in store? And what he has is a fantastic serve right down the alley that Pavel Modal could do virtually nothing about. And that is going to bring it to 5-1, and a much-needed one for Garrett Skelly.
Yeah, Skelly just had 3 really good shots in a row there. Had the great serve to get to 40. He got the great serve and then the great return, and then that great serve right there.
Serve 1.
What a shot.
Oh, another beautiful shot by Pavel Modal as he gets it right from the outside of the alley. And that'll make it 15-love. Modal with the serve, a 15-love lead. Chance to clinch a first set victory in this game. And he can't clear the net. And that'll allow Garrett Skelly to tie it at 15. While we have a moment, Middle Tennessee, as I mentioned previously, with 4 ITA-ranked wins as well this year. Wins over Oklahoma, Duke, Northwestern, and VCU, who UTSA has also beaten.
Oh, common opponents there.
Yes, they do. Middle Tennessee did have a larger margin of victory in that game, though.
What a serve.
Oh, Pavel Modal doing it once again as Garrett Skelly is put on the back foot, and Jimmy Borendame is fired up about it as well. Looks like he could use a fire with that big jacket and the big pants that he's got on. Very cold for Coach Jimmy Borendame out there. And Coach Callie, I'm sure as well, also breaking out the jacket. Again, it's cold in Houston today. Very odd April day. Usually it's starting to get into summer. Things are getting warm. Not the case. 65, cold. There was rain earlier. It's a very odd style for the Conference USA tournament. 30-15.
Good
and
shot.
Pav sends that one away. Slamming it down with authority. 40-15. Set point number 4. And another chance for Pavel Modal. Triple set point right here. Double set point. My apologies. First one into the net. The windmill for serve 2. Deflected off of the net, and a rare double fault for Pavel Modal. Set point number 5, and there you once again see head coach Jimmy Borendame very intently watching this one, as well as the rest. First one slices into the net once again.
Wow.
Oh, what a misdirect by Pavel Modal.
And that is how you want to end a set. That was perfectly done from the serve to the finish.
Breadstick for Pavel Modal as he takes set number 1, a 6-1 win. And he'll take that all day on Sunday as he heads to the changeover station. We are going to get a very, very nice look at that and other plays in the future. Fantastic job by Pavel Modal. While we have a quick break at the changeover station, we will take a look at the replay that Andre Horak on the last point that he was able to break. This was to take a 5-3 lead.
Wow.
Oh my goodness, what a rally. Andre Horak outlasts the exhaustion and makes it 5-3. A fantastic, fantastic point by Andre, a 5-3 lead on the break.
Against Thomas Pino, too.
Against Tomas Pinho, and a big win for Andre, and we'll send it over to our man, Jace Vincent. A lot of action going on around the courts right now. Jace, what do you have for us?
Yes, a lot of action going on indeed, and to go along with that break, over on court 2, Francisco Rocha was able to get a break. He got that one back. He is now trailing 4-3 on his serve, so more action to come, and I'll keep y'all updated as I go along with these other courts.
All right, thank you, Jace. So as you mentioned, Francisco Rocha attempting a comeback over on court number 2. Another guy attempting a comeback is Stein Slump on court number 1.
Well, he's responded, as you can see.
Ooh, and he missed that one.
He's fought back. He was down 2-0 in this first set, 2-9, when we last saw him before we switched over to court 6. So just to make Torres work this much in this first set is really key too, and he's put himself in a position, at 30 all, 4-5 with him serving, a chance to cause a lot of problems if he can get this win his 5th game of this set. What a shot.
Oh,
my
are you
goodness.
kidding me with that backhand, Stein? No, he did not.
Oh, my. Wow. You could. He.
Fantastic backhand. We're going to go take another look here in just a moment at Andre Horak as we're going to go split screen for the first time today. But Stein Slump, an insane backhand.
Yeah, and you could tell from the follow-through, he felt that he had that one in the bag. I mean, what a shot that was from Stein Slump. We mentioned it, him able to fight back, the resiliency showing against Torres, and as you can see here, the split screen action.
Andre with a chance to seal the point. Get the first set. Apologize for the play site technical difficulties for the moment. We'll get that sorted out in just a second. But again, Andre Horak, a very critical position, a chance for Middle Tennessee to get yet another first set on a singles court, and that's going to be absolutely massive. They seem to have the overall advantage early, definitely taking it to the Roadrunners.
Totally, yeah. It's been pretty impressive for MTSU, some able to fight back after some early deficits. We've seen, the doubles matches not exactly, play into or carry over, I should say, for some of these results. We saw Torres play well in the doubles and start well in his singles match, and then we've seen MTSU respond in just about every court.
So we do have it official now. Andre Horak able to take the first set on his court.
That's huge.
As Stein Slump has also tied it up to make it 5-5 on Tiago Torres. So this now will require one of these two players to win 2 straight matchups, or else we will require a first set tiebreak.
He's on a 5-2 run or 5-3 run since he changed rackets.
I think that new racket's serving him well, no pun intended.
Yeah, I think you just jinxed him there.
Yeah, I'll call the announcer's jinx on that one, unfortunately, as that one goes straight into the net. Tiago Torres takes the 40-love lead.
And Torres, his serve is just really, really good, especially coming from the left-hand slot. It's never easy.
First one goes into the net. Ooh, and Tiago Torres takes a tumble.
Ooh.
And that was nasty looking. Lost his footing over there on the left side of your screen.
Ooh, you hate to see that.
And he's getting up, and we'll hope he's okay. And looks like he's, at least for the moment, going to be able to walk away, but we'll hope that his condition is at least somewhat maintainable. And he looks like he is going to serve as Francisco Rocha also just got a break point of his own on the right side of your screen. And Stein Slump loses it. Are you kidding me? It did the Kawhi Leonard bounce off the net, and Slump couldn't get it over. And by that reaction, you can tell he is absolutely steaming like a Yellowstone geyser.
Man, that's rough because you could see the plan of attack there on Torres. Just at least make him run a little bit more, test that leg out or whatever he might have tweaked on that previous sequence, and he had him all set up, ready for all he had to do was just, play it in. And unfortunately for Slump, unable to get it over the net, and that bounce off the top of the net definitely threw him off.
Yeah, it was almost as if it was a delayed reaction. Stein Slump felt as though he would get the easy point there, watched it bounce off of the top of the net, and he had the easy slam, which would have potentially gotten him to a 6-5 lead, rather. But instead, that is not the case. One game that is still at 5-5, it's Oscar Brostrom-Poulsen taking on Sebastian Rodriguez. 30-love lead for Oscar Brostrom-Poulsen at the moment.
See, Rodriguez has fought back as well.
Rodriguez, the senior from Trujillo, Peru.
Wow.
And Brostrom-Poulsen got sent on the retreat, did the spin cycle near the back line, and he couldn't recover in time. Great placement and a great job by Sebastian Rodriguez.
I mean, the audacity from Rodriguez to try that drop shot. I mean, that was able to land it just barely. It just seemed so nonchalant about
it.
And he's able to land it in play, and Brostrom-Poulsen, nothing much you can do about that.
Folks, that is not an easy shot to maintain.
Yeah, not easy to land for sure.
First one goes into the net. Serve 2 coming up. And Sebastian Rodriguez with the shake and bake going across the court multiple times. He makes it 30-0, and he did a great job of slicing a couple of those shots to help throw off Oscar Brostrom-Poulsen. 30-0. Rodriguez was named CUSA Athlete of the Week earlier in this season. Has an incredible pedigree for the Roadrunners. And a brilliant serve by Oscar Brostrom-Poulsen. Are you kidding me with that? He makes it 40-30. What an ace.
I mean, that is – man, that is digging deep because you have to have it there. 30-all gets you 1 point away from taking a massive 6-5 lead in this set.
Not going to happen yet. It goes back.
He sure tried to do the exact same thing. Wow.
A fantastic rally as Oscar Brostrom-Poulsen puts Sebastian Rodriguez on the back pedal. He's going to take a 6-5 lead. Rodriguez will have his chance on serve next, but a great recovery by Brostrom-Poulsen. And we're going to take a replay of Francisco Rocha as he went up in his set as well. We'll take a quick look at that in just a moment.
And this was back on court 2. From earlier, you could tell.
Here's the replay. And
wow.
You see the power, the absolute power that Francisco Rocha possesses as he sent that one for a ride, and he gets a 5-4 lead over on court 2.
That one, when we were on court 1, that's what happened when you could hear the screams and the yells coming from off camera, because that one, when you connect on that kind of shot, it is you get the chance to, let loose a primal scream almost. It feels amazing. I'll tell you what.
And you could tell why he was so pumped up. Good reason. Fantastic shot and fantastic return by him. And Oscar Brostrom-Poulsen says, I want to join the party. He's got a 6-5 lead right now.
I mean, let's talk about that. I mean, that ace Brostrom-Poulsen had.
Yes.
At 30-all, 5-5 in the first set. I mean, that you can't get a better timed ace
than that.
Perfect, yes.
We'll see if he can add to it. And that was perfect movement by Oscar Brostrom-Poulsen. He moved up, he recovered, and he sliced it away with the backhand. 15-love lead for him. And he looks to expand upon that lead in the near future. But while we have a quick lull in the action, let's send it over to our man with the scoop, Jace Vincent. Jace?
Yeah, while you guys are witnessing this here, coming down to the wire in the first set, I'm already on to the second set here with Andre Horak and his matchup here against Pinho of UTSA, where Andre Horak has gotten an early break to go up 1-0 to start his second set. I'll follow up with more updates on that court and others around as we go along here.
All right, so big news. Thank you, Jace. Andre Horak taking the first set, already up 1-0 in the second set, and he has the chance to be the second point for Middle Tennessee if he can clinch the job on his court, court number 4. So big start for him. And Brostrom-Poulsen is put on roller skates, and he can't recover in time. That's going to allow Sebastian Rodriguez to take a 30-15 lead.
Yeah, just put on his wrong foot. Rodriguez, great return there.
Something interesting to note, in neutral site games, Middle Tennessee is 4-1 this year. In pure road matchups, they haven't done as well, only 3-5, but they thrive in these scenarios where it's neutral. Of course, you can only get so neutral with UTSA being from Texas, not that far from Rice.
Wow.
And eventually, he kept trying and trying and trying, and Oscar Brostrom-Poulsen could only do that for so long. And eventually, he bites. 40-15, Rodriguez with a chance to tie.
And those were perfectly placed shots by Rodriguez, making Brostrom-Poulsen run as much as possible.
And that wears out an opponent very quickly.
I mean, he is.
And that one is just put out on the alley. And that is going to allow for Oscar Brostrom-Poulsen to stay alive in game number 12, 40-30. Rodriguez with the lead. And we do have an update on court number 1. Stein Slump drops the first set 5-7 as he loses to Tiago Torres. And Stein was broken to lose the first set, so a tough result for him. But for Tiago Torres, great things, and he looks to capitalize. Yeah, and to hold on.
I mean, he started so strong and then was able to close, and Torres. Wow.
Oscar slams it down.
That's big time.
He has brought it back to deuce, and a chance to take the first set right here. And if they were at the Cathedral of Tennis right now, they would be screaming, Ozzy, 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 oi, oi, oi. That is the chant. They're not in Murfreesboro, but that will still be in Oscar's mind. But for Sebastian Rodriguez, this is the time where he's got to lock it down like Fort Knox. Deciding point. Deuce situation. Rodriguez with the serve. First serve goes into the net. And we saw Rice UAB end with a double fault on Friday. That is not what Rodriguez wants. And that one will go out of play. The mistake by Sebastian Rodriguez. A staring contest, and Rodriguez blinked. Oscar Brostrom-Poulsen takes set 1. Now on to court 2. Francisco Rocha just got absolutely sliced on that one by Alan Magadon. 5-5.
Able to hold serve there. That's huge.
And yet another game is going to require one of these two players to win 2 straight.
I mean, Brostrom-Poulsen, let's go back to that for just a second. I mean, that was that was incredible.
Clutch.
I mean, both players playing super conservative for that point, but it's just wait on somebody to make a mistake, and fortunately for Brostrom-Poulsen, Rodriguez was the one that made the mistake.
Conservative play by both, but in the end, it was Oscar Brostrom-Poulsen who played mistake-free tennis and got the point.
What a serve.
And Francisco Rocha, perhaps motivated by that last loss, he delivers a brilliant serve into the corner to make it 15-love.
Just another ace for Rocha.
So Blue Raiders take the first sets on 3, 4, and 6. UTSA with the first set on 1.
What a shot. Wow.
He put Magadon on a skateboard on the slip and slide, and he went for a ride as Francisco Rocha makes it 30-love. Courts 2 and 5 still in play at the moment between Middle Tennessee and UTSA.
In the first set.
Yes.
Nice.
And Rocha, again, beautiful placement in the corner.
I mean, when he is on and serving, it is tough for anyone to volley with Rocha, that's for sure.
And you can tell he has really been dialed in since he got to Houston. First serve goes wide.
Wow.
Oh,
Almost.
he tried the behind the back play. That would have been a surefire SC top 10 style. He just couldn't land it in, but we saw something similar earlier this season in Murfreesboro. Just couldn't get it to land. And he did it earlier in this match as well, as Jace Vincent reported on. He just couldn't manage it that time, but that's been one of his signature moves. And we almost saw magic once again, 40-15.
Tried to win the point in style.
It's almost like the Harlem Globetrotters or Patrick Mahomes if you're so inclined. Just making those magic plays happen.
What
the
a shot.
Cisco special once again. He's going to make it 6-5, and the nice job on the powerful return.
Perfect shot. I mean, holding serve and is step one is what you want to do the most, and was Rocha able to do. And he's, like we said, when he's locked in on that serve, it is tough. It's tough to break him, that's for sure.
Magadon and Rocha will head towards the changeover station. Rocha with the 6-5 lead, trying to finish up this first set. And while we have another break in the action, let's send it over to the man, Jace Vincent, our reporter. Jace, what do you have?
Yeah, following up a tough loss over on court 1, Stein Slump responded with a 1-0 break to start his second set. So good to see Stein Slump bounce back there strongly, and we'll see if he can carry that momentum going forward into the rest of this second set here. I'll follow up with more as we go along here.
All right, big news out of court 1. Thank you, Jace. Stein Slump finding his way back, and we get our first look today at the sideways cam. Marcel Kamrowski down 5-6 right now, and this is a must-hold moment for Marcel Kamrowski as he is taking on Donijal Muminovic. And Marcel gets the better of that brilliant rally. Make it 30 all. And there you see Jimmy Borendame liking what he sees out of Marcel. Got the shades on. Got to think that he's grooving, feeling cool right now with his Raiders currently holding the advantage on UTSA. Perhaps closing in on a championship. Only time will tell on that front. Marcel with the next serve.
Wow.
And Marcel fakes out Muminovic as Muminovic is sent into the air like he was on a trampoline and he just couldn't get control under him. Marcel takes a 40-30 lead. And again, for Marcel, if he wants to potentially get this to a first set tiebreak, he must clinch this victory to make it 6-6 on Muminovic. Muminovic, the sophomore from Tuzla, Bosnia, and he is the team's usual number 5, a 13-6 record in singles overall this year, and currently on an 11-match win streak.
Wow.
But Marcel Kamrowski may have something to say about that, as that one goes into the net. Kamrowski makes it 6-6, and there will be a first set tiebreak on court number 5.
Seems to be a common occurrence today. I mean, so closely matched, all these games, all these matches, I should say. Kamrowski down 40-15 with the serve, able to come back, take the game, and now he just has to break here.
So the first set tiebreak. Oh my goodness,
shot.
and Marcel Kamrowski, the ankle breaker tennis-wise by Muminovic. As Marcel Kamrowski just couldn't keep his balance. And meanwhile, on court number 4, Andre Horak up 2 breaks, serving for the 4th game right now in the second set. And he's got a chance to potentially very quickly get Middle Tennessee their second point of the day.
Sounds like he did get that game. So up 4-0 in the court to your left on the screen.
And again, Marcel is sent on the slip and slide, and he is not happy after that.
Yeah, he just got broke, too.
Yes, he did. That will allow Muminovic to take a 2-0 lead in this first set tiebreak. And Marcel trying to help Middle Tennessee to another first set victory. They've been very successful at those. This match very crucial again to Middle Tennessee and UTSA's hopes. You never know which court may be the one that brings you a championship. And both these players playing their hearts out right now, as we apologize for the play site buffering at the moment. Comes back in short order. Marcel Kamrowski. Oh, the nonchalant serve. I believe it did bounce twice on the opposite side of the court regardless. But either way, Marcel Kamrowski gets the point back. He makes it 2-1. And now Muminovic will have another opportunity to serve.
Just got to break him once if you're Kamrowski.
That's what it will take. That one back. And look at that drop shot by Marcel Kamrowski. But he did get somewhat bailed out as Winovich just couldn't manage to put that one in play. Couldn't set it down in time. That allows Marcel Kamrowski to get back on serve. 2-2 game. If you're just joining us here on MTN Sports and CUSA.TV, we've got a dandy brewing in Houston between Middle Tennessee and UTSA. And a reminder, if one's needed, nothing less than the Conference USA Men's Tennis Championship on the line for 2023. First set tiebreak between Marcel Kamrowski and Donijal Muminovic. That one goes into the net. And it goes out, the third straight tie-break point by Marcel. And Muminovic has certainly had things come off the rails as of late in this first set tiebreak. Marcel now up a mini break in this match.
He said, call the ambulance, but not for me.
Certainly trending that way right now.
Hear him in the background on their way over. What a serve.
Oh, my goodness.
Wow.
Are you kidding me, Marcel Kamrowski? Another dynamite serve in the corner. And Muminovic is left standing in quicksand once again. The 4-2 lead, Kamrowski zeroing in on another Middle Tennessee first set victory here in Houston, Texas. Both players will head to the changeover station for some rest and rehydration. Marcel needing just a bit more to potentially take this first set. And while we have another break in the action, let's send it over to the guy who's always got the scoop for us, Mr. Jace Vincent. Jace?
Yes, so now over on court 4 with Andre Horak, he is now up 3 breaks, where he is now up 5-0, playing for the match here over on court 4. So taking that will give MTSU now a 2-0 lead. And going along with that, I'll follow up with more updates, not just on court 4, but with more updates around the other courts on Rice University here today.
All right, thank you, Jace. Big news over there on court number 4. Andre Horak closing in. He'll have a chance to give Middle Tennessee a 2-0 lead in this match. As that one will quickly go out of play off the missed serve. And a double fault, I believe, from Marcel Kamrowski. A mistake of a high order. So Marcel misses the serve. It's now 4-3 as we wait for play site to update. There it is. Muminovic back on serve. Chance to tie. That one well off the mark behind the boxes. And it finally goes into the net. What a rally, and Muminovic gets the better. A bunch of topspin returns that time, but unfortunately somebody had to blink, and it was Marcel Kamrowski. It's now 4-4.
What a rally that was. I mean, both players playing kind of conservative, waiting on the other one to make a mistake, and unfortunately for MTSU, Kamrowski was the first one to blink.
So now Muminovic is back in the driver's seat, and he'll be on serve with an opportunity to retake the lead after Marcel Kamrowski had been dominating this first set tiebreak for the majority. That one goes back. Serve 2. Oh,
Wow.
Muminovic, the crucial mistake that allows Kamrowski to make it 5-4. And that's going to allow for a mini break. But meanwhile, we're going to take it over to court number 4 now with Andre Horak. And Andre, he says he got it, and it looks like he did. 40-15, he needs just one more to net Middle Tennessee their second point of the match. This is it.
Looks like double match point here for Horak. He can close Pino out here quickly.
Does he have it? Not yet. It goes into the alley to make it 40-30. Andre still in position. Still needs just one more. Match point number 2. Andre Horak, by far the best singles record on the team for Middle Tennessee, 18-4 this year. And that includes a 15-4 record from right where he's playing right now, the number 4 spot. And by the way, over on court number 5, 6-4, Marcel Kamrowski serving for the first set right now. That in the first set tiebreak. This for the second set and the second point of the match.
What
oh my
serve.
goodness! Andre Horak, are you kidding me, sir? Lit that up like a supernova right down the box. And Middle Tennessee, the bagel on the second set. It's 2-0 Raiders. Wow. That was about as perfect of a serve as you could ask for. And you can almost hear that Blue Raider fan base from Murfreesboro getting fired up. Back over on court number 5 now as the action refuses to cease here in Houston. Marcel Kamrowski now serving for his set. Set point number 2. Off the net for the deflection. And serve number 2 will be upcoming. Muminovic in need of a great defensive play. And Marcel cannot finish it. Muminovic standing strong to make it 6-5. And he is not done yet in this first set. And that is why Donijah Muminovic has been so successful from the number 5 spot all year long. A 9-2 record. And again, an 11-win streak coming into this match.
He's got to break Maminovic's serve here.
A chance to make it 6-6.
Wow.
Which he will not be able to do. Marcel Kamrowski, the first set victory, as that one is sent up to the moon and back down to earth in short order. Marcel Kamrowski with the backhand barrage, and he takes the first set for Middle Tennessee.
I mean, he's to do that, take that lob shot. Looks like we're going to court 6 here, but that lob shot from Kamrowski, the audacity to send it over.
And now Pavel Model, a chance for another Middle Tennessee point. Up 30-15 in set 2. That one wide. A 5-2 lead right now for Pavel Model, another incredibly consistent player for this Raider squad. Model. Pav makes it 40-15 as it goes out of play. Match point once again, the double match point for Pavel Model. Here we go to make it 3-0 Middle Tennessee. And that one is just out of play.
Oh, my goodness.
Serve 2 coming up. Doesn't matter. Pavel Model clinches point number 3 for the Raiders. A 6-2 second set victory. The breadstick win on the first set. Middle Tennessee just 1 point away from the four-peat.
Man, thought he had it on the serve before. Thought he had an ace to clinch it. Instead, the next point, I mean, you can see in the stats, or this is the set 2 summary here, Pavel Model, I mean, just complete domination in this match. 6-1, 6-2. Not even really that close on court 6.
No, it wasn't. Pavel Model, sheer domination, much like he had been doing all year. That now improves his singles record to 17-5 overall in the 2023 season. Meanwhile, Oscar Brostrom-Poulsen on his second set, up 2-3. Now, we don't want to catch, or rather count our eggs before they hatch, because we saw in the first round just the other day what happened to Rice as they played UAB, blew that 3-0 lead, and UAB ended up coming back. So, still early on, but Middle Tennessee definitely in prime position.
What a shot. Wow.
And Oscar Brostrom-Poulsen just could not handle that one. And if I curse Middle Tennessee, I hope that Coach Jimmy Borendame and Coach Callie don't reprimand me. But I promise you, I don't think there will be an announcer's jinx this time. Let's hope not, at least.
So you're doubling down, is what you're
no,
saying.
No, there will be. I'm just gonna stop talking. I'm just gonna stop talking.
Yeah, I don't think we can have that happen.
Back to the action with Oscar Brostrom-Poulsen as he takes on Sebastian Rodriguez, and Rodriguez, again, an 11-5 singles record on the year, trying to get a second set victory to help his Roadrunners have any chance of victory. And he just can't clear the net, and you see him recoiling his racket once again. He knows he made a mistake.
That's why we need you to keep talking. I tell you what. Rodriguez, I mean, good response. I mean, he lost the first set kind of agonizing fashion. That, I mean, when you lose in a tiebreak, that's never fun. And he's responded well in the second set. Brostrom-Poulsen needs to hold serve here.
And he can't clear the net. A good serve from Oscar Brostrom-Poulsen, but an even better return from Sebastian Rodriguez. He'll make it 15-30. Brostrom-Poulsen on serve right now. Rodriguez trying to get the break point to put himself up 5-2, which would be massive for UTSA's hopes of a second set victory on court number 3. If you're just joining us here on MTN Sports and CUSA.TV, Middle Tennessee a 3-0 lead on the second-seeded UTSA Roadrunners in the Conference USA Men's Tennis Championship match, trying to clinch it in Houston. Brostrom-Poulsen, serve number 2. Ozzy
Nice
with
shot.
a beautiful cross-court shot.
I mean, you could see he had Rodriguez off the screen. He had backed up so much with his power, and Rostrom Poulsen reads it well. Easy read there. Just able to direct it away from Sebastian Rodriguez, and chance here to hold serve.
40-15. And that serve looks as though it was out of play. And, well, let's see. We're going to get a quick replay here. No, he
Guess
got
they gave
that. Are
him
you
an ace.
kidding
Wow.
me?
What?
I thought for sure that was outside the box. But apparently Oscar Brostrom Poulsen snuck that in, and he gets it to 3-4, Noah.
It's a big ace. Just end it right there. Get to the benches, able to regroup. Knows he has to break Rodriguez here the next couple games to have a chance to win this second set.
Yeah, ignore the announcer on that one. I don't know how he managed to do that right on the line.
I couldn't tell either, so.
He gets it to 3-4.
Wow.
Big stuff from Oscar Brostrom Poulsen. We go back to court 5, and Marcel Kamrowski takes a bit of a trip.
This is another one that went to a tiebreak, and it was, or at least went to some extra tennis in that first set. Kamrowski, fortunately for MTSU, they've been on the right side of both of those. What a serve.
Big serve,
Ate him up.
Marcel. Make it 40-30, Middle Tennessee.
Just ate Momenovich up. He had no chance of returning that.
No, he did not. And when you get that kind of velocity on a serve, Noah, it's so hard to return.
Absolutely.
A chance to take a 1-0 lead in set 2 for Marcel Kamrowski. That one goes into the net. Serve 2. And what a return by Muminovic. What a beautiful corner return that was, Noah.
Yeah, he was able. I mean, second serve slows down. Muminovic able to time it up pretty well and jump on it. And made it tough for Kamrowski to return. And now Kamrowski an early moment in this second set.
Deuce coming up. And that one is
Mm.
just wide. I think Marcel thought he got that one in.
He wanted it.
He did. Serve 2.
Wow.
What a play by
Wow.
Marcel Kamrowski. Launching it from halfway across the court to take the first point in set number 2.
I mean, the defense there was incredible from Kamrowski. He covered so much court and was able to get all the way. A great shot from Muminovic, and against just about anyone else, that's probably he would take the game there, but Kamrowski able to cover so much ground, sends it back, and Muminovic has no chance to get it back over the net.
Lightning McQueen speed from Marcel Kamrowski. Fantastic job by him. 5 away from potentially getting Middle Tennessee their 4th and final point to give them a CUSA championship for the 4th year in a row. Still has a lot of work to do, though, against Donijah Muminovic. So Muminovic wipes the sweat off of his brow. Marcel readying himself as well. And meanwhile, we're going to go over to court number 3, where Marcel can be looking on for Oscar Brostrom Poulsen and Sebastian Rodriguez in their second set. 5-3. And that one is launched like a SpaceX rocket right out of play for Oscar Brostrom Poulsen. Make it 15-love, Sebastian Rodriguez. Well, Sergey Avdiev for UTSA, the head coach, in the midst of his 4th season with the Roadrunners, former associate coach at Old Dominion, and fun fact, he was a coach on that Old Dominion team that was the last team to beat Middle Tennessee in the conference tournament and win the championship.
Wow.
Oh, nonchalant Oscar Brostrom-Polson. 15 all. And Noah, that is such a hard shot to execute when you just kind of nonchalantly hit it off the racket and just kind of bury it in there.
Absolutely. Confidence from Brostrom-Polson there.
15 all. And a beautiful backhand from Oscar Brostrom-Polson. Doesn't matter. Sebastian Rodriguez goes to the opposite side and gets the nice score. Great job by Rodriguez.
I'm surprised play didn't stop there. I thought either the ball had went out or off the serve or something. It just didn't seem right, and I guess it just kept going. But it's unfortunate for Brostrom-Polson.
Yeah, it was very strange. It was almost like play stopped for a second. But both players kept playing, and Rodriguez eventually scored the point. This first serve catches nothing but net. And that is called out of play. Oscar Brostrom-Polson makes it 30 all. A 3-5 game. And the odds are certainly not in Brostrom-Polson's favor of getting this second set, but we've seen all year, Noah, that he's definitely a fighter, and he's got some brilliant serving that allows him to score points like that.
Absolutely. I mean, thought that shot from Rodriguez was going to land, but just didn't, and Brostrom-Polson all of a sudden has flipped this game on its head.
40-30 lead now. And he has an opportunity to get it to 4-5 and at least give himself a chance of making it a 5-5 game here in set number 2, much like set 1. Of course, in order to get it to 5-5, he would have to first get this. Play site is currently wrong, by the way.
Or
that
just
one goes
knew
into
what
the
was
net.
happening.
Either that or knew what was
Spoiled
happening.
it for us.
Either way, Oscar Brostrom-Polson gets it. Play site, spoiler warning, please. Either way, Oscar Brostrom-Polson makes it 4-5. They'll head to the changeover station, and he'll have an opportunity to bring it to 5-5 here in set number 2 in just a moment. Let's go over to court number 1 now for our next look at singles action. As we rejoin Stein, Slump, and Tiago Torres.
Slump's fought back in this second set.
Yeah, we've heard Jace report on this before. Stein Slump's incredible job over on court 1 here in set number 2 after losing 7-5 in set 1.
What a shot.
Oh my goodness, Tiago Torres. Torrid on the return. That'll bring it to 40-15. There's a reason this guy has been CUSA Athlete of the Week this year. Stein Slump has had one of those awarded to him as well. Now Torres, the lefty. Two very excellent players in the prime of their careers. And Stein tried so hard with that backhand, but he just couldn't angle it on the back line, Noah.
Yeah, some good returns, just unable to keep it all the way in. It almost looked like he was going to win that point for a second.
And Tiago Torres brings it to 5-4 as we now send it over to our main man, Jace Vincent. Jace, what's the latest out there in the singles action?
Yes, now over on court 2 with Francisco Rocha, he has gone up a break point, now up 2-1 to start off his second set. He lost the first point to start it, and now he gained that back. He's now up 2-1 as he goes up a break here on court number 2.
All right, thank you, Jace. Francisco Rocha fighting back on court number 2. And he has a prime opportunity to, again, give Middle Tennessee a second set victory. Meanwhile, we're back on court 3 now. Oscar Brostrom-Polson and Sebastian Rodriguez in a 4-5 second set game. 30-love lead for Rodriguez. And that one goes into the net on the skied return to make it 40-love. And Rodriguez an opportunity to tie up the set points here on court number 3. All he needs is just one more right here.
Triple set point here for Rodriguez. In a good position here to win the second set.
Rodriguez looking to do what he's done all year for the Roadrunners. That one too far back. Serve 2. And that one too far gone. Brostrom-Polson stays alive, 40-15.
He tried to jump it. Fortunately for Brostrom-Polson, it was going long anyways.
Set point number 2 coming up for Sebastian Rodriguez. And again, Oscar Brostrom-Polson did take the first set, 7-5. Here's Rodriguez. Sebastian! He's going to make it a 6-4 second set victory, and UTSA has tied it up on court number 3. And you see the applause from the Mr. Top Hat on UTSA. And that's going to make it 40-30 as Marcel Kamrowski and Donijal Muminovic are still in play. This 1-1 in set number 2 as we are experiencing some quick buffering. While we've got a moment, we're going to somewhat recap the action because there's been a lot of it taking place. But right now, we know Middle Tennessee firmly in the catbird seat, a 3-0 lead on UTSA, and a chance soon to close it up.
Yeah, it's been incredible. As you see slumps here as has fought back. Another set point.
40-15 lead, Stein slump, as you mentioned.
This would be huge for him. It felt like Torres was double set point here for slump.
Whips that one into the net.
Felt like Torres was on a tear in that early in that first set, and Slump's been able to weather that even though Torres won the first set.
Stein is a hard player to take out for any opponent. Serve 2. And he just powered it up a little bit too much.
Yeah, just opened his hips up a little too much.
40-30. Slump with another opportunity. Set point number 3. What kind of serve does Stein have in mind? And what does Torres do to counter? Serve 1. Oh my goodness, Stein slump. Sent that one over, but he just couldn't get it in. Again, another
close call for sure.
Yeah.
It's so tough to, as he's going for that outside hand on the serve. It's so tough because Torres is a left-hander, so he's able to, reach out with the backhand.
It's deuce time. From the ad side for Stein slump. Another chance to clinch it in set 2. And he couldn't get that one angled in correctly. Serve number 2. And Stein Slump had it in the palm of his hand, but just as quickly he loses it. Instead, it's Torrid Torres. Tiago Torres makes it a 5-5 contest in set number 2, and he'll have a chance to net UTSA their first point of the match if he can get 2 more victories.
I mean, what a break. I mean,
and while we were speaking, Francisco Rocha also got broke on the court to the right of us to make it 2-2. That was a crucial one for Stein, and you know that that's got to hurt, Noah.
yeah, because that means at least he's got to play at least 2 more games as well. And if he's going to win the match, he has to go to a 3rd set. So saving 2 games for the 3rd set would have been huge. Instead, he's got to dig a little deeper here in this 2nd set.
As you mentioned, he's going to have to dig deep. 15-all. As that one goes into the net. Last year when Stein played UTSA, he did lose in straight sets. Much like Francisco Rocha, that still weighs heavy on the mind.
What a shot.
Are you kidding me, Stein? Are you kidding me? How about that on the backhand as he just levels it over the net? Changing direction like Dan Eschenfelder in Jacksonville. That a little call out to our advisor, Dan Eschenfelder, a big tennis fan himself. He's here with us in the studio, and I saw him very pumped up after that last point.
This from Kamrowski. Meanwhile, on court, looks like court 5 breaking here would be huge in this 2nd set.
Serve from Uminovic. And that one out of play. And on that last play by Stein Slump, that was a beautiful inside to out drop shot. 2-1, Kamrowski on top.
He did just break, I think.
Yes, he did. Make it 3-1, Marcel Kamrowski. A break for him. And now Muminovic is in deep trouble.
Kamrowski can just get this one. Hold serve here. Some 2 breaks here.
And Marcel sends that one into the alley to make it 15-love. Donijah Muminovic. For UTSA, the sense of urgency is at an all-time high right now for the Roadrunners' chance in their last ever Conference USA matchup and against a last ever Conference USA opponent.
What a shot.
And Marcel left standing in quicksand once again as he watches it fly by. Muminovic takes the 30-love lead. Beautiful return. Meanwhile, on court number 1, Stein Slump has broken to go up 6-5 on Tiago Torres.
That's huge.
Massive, as you mentioned. First serve goes into the net.
Wow.
Brilliant stuff from Marcel Kamrowski.
Once again, some incredible defense being played from Kamrowski. Running all over the place to keep that ball in.
Marcel Kamrowski has had a heck of a weekend against UAB yesterday. He breadsticked his first matchup and then won 6-2 in the second one. And he's off to a fantastic start here in the UTSA match as well. 3-2 lead. Just got a brilliant point to bring it to 15-30. And I believe that was a play side error, rather. Instead, it's 3-1.
What a serve.
Fantastic serve. It goes into the alley. And that's going to tie us up at 30. And that was a beautiful serve, as you mentioned, Noah. And that's something that Marcel has been developing all year. And he just gets better and better as time goes on with it. All.
Back to back, really, really good serves. Gave Maminovich no chance.
No, he did not. He brings it to 40-30, and Marcel has a chance to extend the lead to 4-1 while on serve. He'll take it from the ad side. Does Donijal Muminovic have anything left in his pocket to potentially make it 3-2? Serve one upcoming. Marcel checks over to the left as he awaits the serve. Takes his time and serves.
What a serve.
What
Wow.
a serve it was.
Wow.
He was gearing up for something special in Marcel Kamrowski.
2 games away.
Yes,
Wow.
he did. Tasty like Taco Tuesday that time. He makes it 4-1. And we're going to take it to our next look at singles action momentarily as we join back on court number 1 as Stein Slump has a 6-5 lead. Make it 30-15 in match number 12.
Just trying to hold serve here. He broke the last point.
And
he called out.
Wow. Stein looked like he had it in for the ace, but he did not, according to Torres.
Wow.
So the reversal, as we see that one go up, and we'll await the official call. It was close on the net, and I believe that Stein got it in. He did.
All right, another set point for Stein.
Yes, indeed. So it doesn't matter. Stein Slump got that first rocket ball, looked like in, didn't get it, says I don't care, makes it 40-15, and a chance for the second set victory right here. Here we go. Nothing but net on the first one. Set point number 5. Trying to bring it to a third set here.
Wow.
Oh, and Stein Slump ran out of room, but Torres with a beautiful play, and he does a little bit of a hand motion after the fact. It's 40-30.
Another great rally from Torres, just finding a way.
Tiago Torres makes it 40-30. And Stein Slump not able to finish him off yet.
I mean, this is the 6th set point. Stein slump. I mean, you just got to wonder what's going through his head at this point. Thinking, hey, can we just close this guy out in this second set?
Definitely does not want to see this go to a tie break. Would wear him out faster. Misses the first serve. Set point number 6. And decides not to serve yet. Now he does. Stein slump delivers like FedEx as he puts it down in the corner. Second set victory for Stein slump. And there will be no second set tiebreak. There will instead be a third set between Tiago Torres and Stein slump in this fantastic matchup of ones.
Did, in fact, make it to a third set, even though it took him the 2 extra games. But all that matters at this point is it's got 1 set left. Big time for slump. You could, I mean, just fighting back.
And meanwhile, here is a look at Marcel Kamrowski and Donijal Muminovic as we take it in slow motion. Let's see what happens on this play.
Hope it's not a long rally.
And
I guess not.
Looks like that one went out of play, according to Mominovic, as we are viewing that one again in slow motion. 4-2, Marcel looking to overcome Donijal Muminovic. 15 love. Misses the first serve. And it goes into the net.
If Kamrowski can just hold serve here, take a 5-2 lead in this second set.
UTSA will be leaving for the American in the fall, trying to gain one last conference championship before they make that eventual move. Already took the conference championship in football 2 years running now, arguably the best team in CUSA baseball, and trying to add men's tennis to the portfolio. But again, they are leaving for the American very soon. This their last time facing Middle Tennessee as CUSA opponents. And Muminovic sends that one into the net. Another mistake from Donijal Muminovic, but it's hard to deal with the power of Marcel Kamrowski. 40 love.
He's kind of overwhelmed Muminovic in this second set.
First serve. And what a serve that was.
What an ace.
Looks like it was in for the ace. Marcel Kamrowski is going to make it 5-2 as they'll head to the changeover station. Marcel needs just one more. 4 more shots in, and Middle Tennessee will complete the four-peat. And head coach Jimmy Borendame looking on very intensely. And you see Coach Jimmy giving the talk to Marcel. Meanwhile, we're going to tune in over on court number 3 with Oscar Brostrom-Polson and Sebastian Rodriguez in set number 3. 2-1, Oscar on top. First serve from Rodriguez. That one goes wide. And that one just out of play. $15 lead for Sebastian Rodriguez.
What a serve.
And Sebastian Rodriguez applying more pressure than a final paper deadline right into the box. That'll make it 30 love. Meanwhile, we join back in on court number 5. Marcel Kamrowski looking to end it right here. 15 love, Muminovic on top.
He would have to break serve. We've seen him do it a couple times before.
Not going to happen yet, and you hear the wind also beginning to pick up in Houston.
The storms blew through all morning and early afternoon.
They certainly did, and that is adding to the dynamic of the play here at the George R. Brown Tennis Center. That one goes into the net. That'll make it 15-30. Marcel draws one step closer. And Marcel Kamrowski did clinch the points against both number 19 Duke and number 19 Northwestern when Middle Tennessee played both teams. When it's been in the most critical situations, it always seems to come down to Marcel Kamrowski. How fitting would it be if it did it again?
And you can see Muminovic just buying a little extra time.
That one outside the box, serve 2.
What a shot. What a return.
Same side shot, no problem. Marcel Kamrowski delivering again to make it 30 all. We are 2.5 hours in right now into this matchup, but Middle Tennessee has been on a furious blitz to try to clinch this championship. 2 away. Muminovic trying to deny. Serve 1. And Marcel gets it stuck in the racket. Are you kidding me?
Oh, my goodness.
Well, you don't see that every day.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen that before.
Gets it stuck in the racket like it had Wonder Glue. Marcel now down 30-40, so it definitely didn't help matters. Muminovic with a chance to make it 5-3. And Marcel gets put on the back foot. It isn't going to happen yet. Muminovic makes it 5-3. Some clutch returns by him.
Just able to hold serve there.
But now Kamrowski will be back on serve, and he will have yet another chance to clinch it for the Raiders. There's a look at the service points won, 62% to 60. Middle Tennessee has the advantage in this matchup. If you're just joining us here on MTN Sports and CUSA.TV, the dramatic conclusion to this tournament potentially about to take place. First serve. And Marcel says, thank you very much.
What a serve.
15 love.
Man, the heat on Kamrowski's serves have been a little extra today.
He has certainly been showing what he's capable of when it comes to these serves. Fantastic stuff. 3 away now. Serve 1. The moon ball goes way out of play. 30 love. 2 away now. Marcel Kamrowski in the game and the fight of his life. Serve 1.
Wow,
yes!
What a shot.
40 love on the cross court. 1 away now.
I mean, he just froze Muminovic. You can see Muminovic take a stroll.
Muminovic stuck in quicksand.
A match point here.
Marcel Kamrowski about to deliver the serve of his lifetime for the potential win. First serve goes into the net. Here's the second serve. Fasten your seatbelts. Lightning strikes for the 4th year in a row. the Middle Tennessee Blue Raiders, Conference USA champions again. Marcel Kamrowski, another legendary clincher.
Tennis Championship runners-up, the UTSA Roadrunners.
Pandemonium in Houston. And the Cinderella run for the Middle Tennessee Blue Raiders. The glass slipper still fits. The Raiders get the win, and they defeat the UTSA Roadrunners. And the trophy is staying in Murfreesboro.
I mean, wow, 4 in a row. I mean, that is incredible. What an accomplishment, what an achievement. I mean, a couple of these matches were close, but the resiliency shown by the Blue Raiders today, it showed in the doubles, it showed in the singles. We saw in the first set a couple of these games, and MTSU were just able to come back. 4 Conference USA championships in a row is incredible.
The dynasty continues for the Blue Raiders, and it was that guy right there, Marcel Kamrowski, the freshman, who got it done. The future is very much still bright for these Blue Raiders. You see the team, you see the players congregating on the sideline. Ecstasy for them once again, for UTSA. An agonizing defeat, but they have nothing to just hang their heads about as they get ready for the trophy ceremony. And there it is. They raise the trophy up. Your 2023 Conference USA champions, the Middle Tennessee Blue Raiders.
And you mentioned Kamrowski. As you see on just jubilation over there.
There's nothing like winning a championship. Whether it's your first time or it's your 4th time, these guys know just how special it is. They get the job done in Houston, Texas once again. And not only that, they will move on to play in the NCAA tournament once again. And they will await the selection show results to see who they will play first. But that's for then. This is now, and Middle Tennessee is going to celebrate and party like it's 1999 in Houston, Texas tonight.
You mentioned Kamrowski, who won both the winning points against Duke and Northwestern. I mean, just showing up, the freshman showing up big time once again. I mean, winning this against Momenovich, who fought hard. The first set, obviously, you see it was 7-6. I mean, it was close. Kamrowski had to dig deep. His serves were incredible. And, I mean, the rest of the performance from MTSU, it was just some great tennis played this weekend, great tennis played today.
Well, the graduate students, Stein Slump, Pavel Model, and Francisco Rocha, now have a ring for every finger. 4 rings for those players, and you see more celebrating and more photo ceremonies and more trophy raising. And the 7th man from Middle Tennessee has come in full force to Houston. You can see some fans surrounding, and the players, again, still very much in jubilation, getting their championship shirts awarded. Gotta have the merch out. And these players will bring yet another championship home to Murfreesboro. We saw women's basketball Noah take home a championship of their own earlier on in this 2023 year. And now the Blue Raiders men's tennis team adding to that collection. There you see the shirts, and again, there you see the excited faces, and they earned it all the way through. A lot of people thought maybe they weren't the same Raiders. Maybe they didn't have the same oomph as they did last year. But this is as dominant of a performance as they have had, and they want Coach Jimmy, and they're going to soak him in some hydration fluid. And he is wet all over. There you see the sign for Middle Tennessee. 2023 Conference USA champions. They improved their record to 21-7 now. And Noah, they did not lose a single point this entire tournament. 4-0 sweep against number 5 seeded UAB yesterday, and a 4-0 sweep of number 2 seeded UTSA today.
Yeah, it's a dominant performance this weekend from MTSU, and it's something that Coach Jimmy and the rest of the team will take with them moving forward. But, I mean, 4 in a row is nothing to scoff at. I mean, that is an incredible achievement, something that the entire trip home is going to be it's going to be electric for sure. The amount of celebrating that and partying that's going to happen with this team is going to be it's well deserved,
yes,
to say the least.
Well deserved, certainly is for Middle Tennessee. As you mentioned so many times, their 4th consecutive Conference USA championship. And the Raiders in Murfreesboro are going to be Thomas Edison electric levels of tonight. A fantastic performance by all. They sweep the UTSA Roadrunners, and they get the job done in Houston. And Marcel Kamrowski, the freshman, the young guy, getting the clinching point once again. He always seems to be in those positions, but a fantastic job by him. Final thoughts, Noah?
I mean, moving forward for the NCAA tournament, that Kamrowski piece that you mentioned with the Duke and Northwestern and now today, and that's going to come in handy. You need everyone in a tournament setting, and everyone showed up this weekend. Everyone's going to show up, I believe, in the NCAA tournament as well. But winning 4 in a row, as we've mentioned, as we've harped on, I mean, that's something that these guys are going to take with them, especially the grad students that stayed around for an extra year. That's something that they're going to hold on to for a long, long time, and it's something that's truly special, and nobody can take it away from them.
Absolutely. Memories that will last a lifetime for these players and for these grad students, Stein Slump, Pavel Model, and Francisco Rocha, something that they will never forget. A 4th championship for them, a 1st for Marcel Kamrowski and Andre Horak, a 2nd for Oscar Brostrom-Polson, and a team and a city that has again been rejuvenated. Well, this is our final MTN Sports production of the year. Thank you all so much for tuning in throughout the year in this spring. We're going to keep you posted on the selection show when it comes out to see where Middle Tennessee will end up and who they will play in the first round of the NCAA tournament. Should be very interesting. I want to thank TJ Myers, Ronnie Portson, Dan Eschenfelder, and all the people who worked on MTN Sports this year for an incredible job on our production. And most importantly, we want to thank all of you for tuning in. It's been a fantastic tennis season, and we cannot wait to bring you a fantastic 2024 as well. So, for Noah Maddox, I'm Dylan Simmons, and also for Jace Vincent, we're saying so long from Murfreesboro in the MTN Sports Den. Your final score, Middle Tennessee sweeps the UTSA Roadrunners 4-0, and they get their 4th consecutive Conference USA championship. Thank you all, and remember...